All right, we're live.
We're on?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We had a countdown.
I'm always wondering whether that's true. Listen, before we begin our normal little chit-chat, you know, Cantor and I come into services with this upbeat spirit and upbeat mood, and especially with Shabbat in the round, that is the mood in which we'd like to embrace this evening. But before we tell you about some of the coming events and a little banter back and forth, I just think all of us need to take a moment, because I know that what's going on now with George Floyd has sparked protests throughout the country, and that even as we are here creating this beautiful service outside these walls and perhaps outside this broadcast, there are people who are in deep pain right now in our country. And when we celebrate Shabbat, it's often we think about it as being a celebration of what is. This is the seventh day. This is the day of rest. But in actuality, Shabbat is a taste of the time to come. It's an expression of potential of who we could be, what should be, what can be. And until that time, Shabbat is our compromise, that one day a week we have a shelter from life's storms. But the storms are still there. And so let us engage not only with a sense of joy, but also with that perspective that it's possible to feel both the pain of others and the joy of a holiday, and all of those feelings intermingled into one. But most importantly, let us pray fervently for us to see each other, to hear each other, to know each other's pain, and to find ways in our society to bring about the message of Shabbat peace and holiness, not just today, but every day of our lives, so that everyone will feel heard and that we will be partners with God in creating a world of peace, forgiveness, and love. Amen. Well, sometimes love begins not only with the prayer, but it begins with the deed, a good deed, a mitzvah deed. And I think you wanted to start off by sharing a little bit about what one of our students is up to.
So one of our upcoming bat mitzvah students wanted to share about her mitzvah project. So she wrote a little blurb for me tonight, and I'm putting her picture on your top right of your screen. This is Abby, and she says, for my mitzvah project, I would love to raise money to help support a local pet rescue, Las Vegas Roots Rescue. This local grassroots pet rescue is completely on donations and is 100% volunteer and 100% nonprofit. All money raised goes directly to the care of the pets. Their mission is to help animals of Nevada that have been abandoned, neglected, and put in the position to be euthanized. Vegas Roots Rescue's goal is to rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome the animals that have been put in such vulnerable situations. Vegas Roots Rescue will achieve these goals by working with volunteers, foster homes, shelters, local veterinarians, and facilities to find permanent homes for the animals. My goal is to raise money to help Vegas Roots Rescue cover some of the costs of ever-growing veterinarian bills. At Vegas Roots Rescue, they take in disabled pets and are fully responsible for all of the medical costs associated with their care until they are adopted out. Additionally, they are in need of dog harnesses, leashes, collars, and pet toys, but no bones, please. So there are 4 different options that Abby has given us to give back to Vegas Roots Rescue. I will post all these options after the service when I get home tonight onto our Facebook page so that you can participate. There is a rescue link, a Venmo, a text option, and also a drop-off option. So there's no excuse not to give to Mitzvah Project by Abby Haggerty.
Now listen, that was kind of a tongue twister.
It was.
Vegas Roots
Rescue.
Vegas Roots Rescue.
And I already have an issue talking so fast.
Say that 3 times real fast.
Yeah.
Vegas Roots Rescue. Vegas Roots Rescue. Yeah.
Yes.
Remember that, Charity.
Oh, I just
It's a good one.
realized this whole time Abby's head's been over your head.
Oh.
That's pretty funny.
So.
All right.
That's. Can you move that?
I'm gonna take it off now.
You know, Abby, grow up and be a rabbi, okay?
And her little doggy too.
And her little dog too. Is it still there?
No, now you're good now.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay, Vegas Roots Rescue. All right, well, this Sunday we have another important mitzvah. We are hosting, not inside our building, but outside in our parking lot. So little by little, we're starting to have a little bit more activity here on our campus. This will be recovery advocacy. And they want you to come and drop off canned goods, personal care items, and gently used clothing. And there will also be a mental health awareness event between 3 and 5 right here in the parking congregation near Tamid. Well, we got a lot of other stuff going on. You know, we have the Hasidic Tales, part 2 of part 2 at 5:30 on Wednesday, Taste of Judaism on Thursday at 5:30. If you know someone who, you know, kind of slept through religious school, we don't, do we? Absolutely not, no. We take the fifth. Anyways, we want them to come and take Taste of Judaism because it's 3 free lectures. They'll be online, on Zoom, and I think they'll be great. But if you happen to know someone who always wanted to become Jewish but just didn't really know what it's about, Taste of Judaism is a great place just to open that door, to take a peek inside and see some of the basic values of Judaism, sense of spirituality and Jewish holidays and Jewish community. So that needs a registration. It's required. So call the temple to take care of that. We want to celebrate all the good works of our Early Childhood Center. We're sad that this was a time that we had to close them, but we are going to look forward to their reopening in the fall of next year. But we're going to celebrate them, the teachers, our director, Lonnie Kritzler, her assistant, Beth Davis, at Mountain View Park at 7 p.m. on Thursday. Again, it's one of those things where you stay in the car, but the Parents Committee has some special surprises for all and gifts for the teachers. So we hope that you'll come to Mountain View Park on Thursday. We got anything else? I know we got a ton of stuff. Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, we have a ton of stuff. There is a new program being launched. It's kind of a twist on our old program. So we had this great Neshama flow. It was like a very Zen opportunity to take a deep breath on a Thursday. And we're grateful that Cassidy has continued that with us. However, we're going to also add a couple of classes to this and call it a Neshama series. And it's part of our Jewish values, Shmirat Haguf, to take care of our bodies. So the first week will be this Wednesday morning at 9:30 with Neshama Flow. Next Wednesday will be, so that'll be really fun with Colleen Craig Friedman. That'll be really fun. I'm really excited to take a dance class with her, I have to say.
Oh, you just add it to your bio, right?
Yes.
I've taken dance classes with Colleen Craig
So
Friedman.
you should do this too.
You should do it too, right?
And then the following week will be, I believe, Ricky, our accompanist and champion weightlifter, will do Neshama Strength. And then we'll have Neshama Meditation with Carrie Marshall for our
How did Ricky get so strong? Is it playing that piano so hard?
I think so.
Maybe a little.
Maybe piano. But anyway, so Wednesday mornings at 9:30, and that's the new time for Neshama series classes.
All right, this is Shabbat in the round. So we need all of you to feel connected. We're not actually in a physical space close to each other, but you can get close to your family members and let the music bring you together, because it's the style of the music and your participation, as Cantor encourages your participation, that makes this service so very special. So without further ado, let Shabbat begin. Gentlemen, you ready? Here we go.
I want to hear all my sheer heart girls surrounding me right now. I want to hear somebody pray. I want to hear somebody pray down in the valley.
Somebody pray.
I want to hear somebody sing. I want to hear somebody sing down in the valley and under. I want to hear somebody sing. Okay, now it's your turn. You're going to tell us what you want to hear.
All right, type it in there into Facebook. Cantor will look at it.
I'm going to say, I want to see peace in this world. I want to see peace in this world. I want to see peace in this world. Down in the valley and over yonder. I want to see peace in this world. We're going to go with dance and then laugh. want to see somebody dance. I want to see somebody dance down in the valley and over yonder. I want to see somebody dance. All right, we're going. I want to hear somebody's laugh. I want to hear somebody's laugh down in the valley and over yonder. I want to hear somebody's laugh. I want to see somebody love. I want to feel somebody's love. I want to feel somebody's love down in the valley and over yonder. I want to feel somebody's love. One more, I saw justice. I want to see justice for all. I want to see justice for all down in the valley and over yonder. I want to see justice for all. I want to hear somebody pray. I want to hear somebody pray. I want to hear somebody pray down in the valley and over yonder. I want to hear somebody pray.
Shabbat Shalom to everyone watching and listening at home. You know, this is our Shabbat in the round service, as I mentioned, with one small difference, of course, no round. Well, at least not yet anyways. We can only make a virtual circle, so we need all of your help to stay and feel connected. For music is going to be what binds us all together. The music and the prayers tonight will be punctuated by vignettes from me reflecting a continuation of last week's sermon, which was our Sinai moment. I decided to imagine what it would be like if our ancestors, Abraham or Moses or the Israelites or us, stood in our own Sinai moment of revelation, and what that might look like. Well, you'll hear it in my vignettes, and I hope that'll be a source of strength and inspiration. Partnering with God in forming our own Sinai moment that hopefully will lead us to peace, love, and justice. Imagine, if you will, what your Sinai moment could and should and ultimately will look like.
I want to hear somebody pray. I want to hear somebody pray down in the valley and over yonder. I want to hear somebody pray. Name our
Our first vignette, I am Abraham. Can you believe I'm an old man? Can you believe my dad's an even older man? And what did he tell me? He said, go worship those stones, as if they were stronger than I am. Their hearts made of stone. Clearly, they are not gods. And even if they were gods, broken into rubble, my life too was in ruins. My dad and I no longer spoke to one another. Stones were not the only thing that were broken. It was our relationship as well. I just knew that I was not destined to stay here. I was destined to hear my own inner voice. And with each decision to abandon the old ways and to discover the new, the voice became stronger and clearer. Avraham, Avraham. And then it dawned on me, this voice that I had never heard. It was so familiar. It was as if it was with me my entire life. It was as familiar as the voice of my father and my mother and every person I ever loved. I should have been trembling with fear, but I was calm. Even though I was asked to leave all that I knew, I still was not afraid. Because the moment I broke those idols, I had already begun my journey. The only difference was now I knew which way to go. Hineni, this was my Sinai moment. Has grown to be my favorite Shalom Aleichem, penned by our good friend Joe Buchanan. Let's hear y'all sing.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachei
rise as you are able for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship. Continue with the Ve'ahavta. You can be seated. And we ask our B'nai Mitzvahs, all of you, all the B'nai Mitzvah out there, that you join us as loud as you can so that I can hear you in the sanctuary, if that's possible. Let's try it.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha v'veitecha ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות בין אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
From Abraham we fast forward to the time of Moses. The struggle has come and gone, and now, fleeing from Pharaoh's wrath, they make their way to the Red Sea. The hero of our story we would think would still be Moses, but it's not. Moses raises his arms in hopes that the sea will part, but it will take someone else to step forward, and his name was Nachshon. My name is Nachshon. Behind me is death. I know this. There's nothing there for me anymore. Egypt was my tomb, but even a tomb can suggest the comfort of an eternal home, peace everlasting. I know that this is a false promise, but let someone else go. I will follow when I know it's safe, that this God will protect me, that the obstacles along the way will be moved by generations and leaders in front of me. Each step I take, I prefer to take with certainty and safety. Thank you very much. But there's a problem. No one is moving. Moses is standing there speechless, his arms raised high. He is filled with faith, but it's not enough. He needs my faith too. And so I decide to join him, to help him. And in turn, I help myself. For before I realized it, I am out front and I am first. I am the new Abraham. I am the first of a new generation. It is my Sinai moment, and I am wet with the perspiration of fear and the sweat of slaves, hard labor. I am covered by salty tears of 100 generations of my ancestors that form a sea of quiet desperation. I walk forward, and as I walk, the waters part, and my fears part as well. To the right, to the left, my fear is dissipating, and almost, but never, but almost quite gone because of my determination. And I walk forward on dry land to a new destiny that I can claim all my own, my Sinai moment.
We ask God to shelter us as we lie down tonight. Hashkivenu, my cantorial student Becky Mann.
And then there's the people that we call Israel. All of theirs, they stood there at Sinai. We stood with them. And everyone who ever lived who's Jewish, their souls were there at Sinai. I was there. I am with the people called Israel for my Sinai moment. Choosing Judaism, my eyes are wide open, but I am afraid and filled with awe. A shadow falls over me, blotting out the sun, obscuring even the thunder and the lightning, dampening the sound, the revelation that I came to witness, impossible to see even if I wanted, because there is a mountain over my head, and I am afraid. To move mountains, I am told I must have faith. To move this mountain, I must embrace my faith. And I am afraid that I am not worthy. That faith will ask too much of me. I prefer the old ways that only yesterday I cursed at. But today, in the dimness of the light and the mountain overhead, those old ways give me the comfort of a worn-out blanket that embraces me with fuzzy memories. The choice, it would seem, is mine, whether I understand it or not, whether I believe it or not. I do have a choice. And even if my fear that the choice is between life and death, the true test of Sinai is to understand that the choice is not between life and death. It is between dying and living, or worse, between dying and not having lived at all. To move the mountain, there is only one way: to have faith. And so, emboldened, I reach across time and space, and I reach out my hands and my heart. Naaseh v'nishma, Naaseh v'nishma. I will do like my ancestors have done. I will do and I will hear. And if I listen closely, what I hear will be the furious beating of my own heart, slowly, slowly beating gently, gently. My Sinai moment. I am there. I am there.
So we turn to our Amidah. And normally we begin with Adonai Svatai Tiftach. Adonai, open up my lips so that my mouth may declare your praise. But we open Shabbat the Rounds Amidah with Adonai, love me, and other prayers that we have tonight as we turn and we stand for the Amidah and we stand in reverence to God. What are we asking for, pleading for? Adonai, love me. If you have anything that you want to add, please try to do so now. There's a little bit of a delay, but we'll see if we can get everybody's in.
Make some suggestions what word you want to use in place of love.
continue in our Amidah prayer silently, standing or sitting. You can use the words in the Siddur or the words within your heart. When you have completed your prayers, please sit quietly.
Shabbat. Usually we just think of people who are so important to us and we include them in our Misha Berach, but tonight we think of our community, our country, which is going through so much pain. We ask for there to be healing in our country. Closer to our own homes, we think of our loved ones, and we ask that God watch over them as well, to bring those that we care about hope and healing and strength. If you have names that you would like to submit, please, there is a little bit of a delay, but type them in and the cantor will read their names. But I always like to say the name of my sister Dina so that she knows I'm thinking about her. But you all have your own sisters and brothers and mothers and fathers like I do, and we think of all of them. We ask that God watch over them in their time of need, to embolden them and give them strength. And to those who are caregivers, we ask that God give them patience and strength and that continued sense of love that they might minister to others as they embark on a path towards healing. And for those who struggle with matters of the heart and mind and of the spirit, we ask that God embolden them with hope and with a renewed sense of faith. So, Cantor, are there names to add to all those that we care about so very much?
I don't know how big of a delay we have, but I don't have anyone.
If you're trying to get through to us, we're having, sadly, a little bit of trouble with the Wi-Fi, but know that whether your prayers are said at home or here in the sanctuary, I'm sure that they are heard. And so we join together in our Misha Berach prayer.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
In place of Aleinu tonight, we still rise before the ark, before the Holy One. But I saw this poem and it called me, appropriate for this moment, unfortunately. It's written by Holly Schaffner, Sarah Stock Mayo, and Rachel Stock. Aleinu, it is on us to bow and praise before God as a sign of reverence and perhaps submission. It is on us to bend our knees only in reverence for life and only for submission to that which is good. Aleinu, it is on us. Our sages teach that the angels have no knees. Their legs do not bend. They do not need knees, because their entire purpose is to stand tall before God in service. But we are not these kinds of angels. We bend under the weight on our shoulders. We let this twisted world twist us into knowing that our service to God comes not only in the form of thoughts and prayers, but in the form of action. Aleinu, it is on us. Va'anachnu korim, we bend at the knee. U'mishtachavim, we bow at the waist. Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, we stand straight before God. Hakadosh Baruch Hu, we who are made in God's image must be holy because God is holy. So we rise to repair this very broken world. We stand straight because we can. We stand up because we must. Aleinu, it is on us. We bend our knees before the God of love in devotion and in disruption, in protest and in praise. From shame to shlemut, wholeness. We rise before the God of truth to march and to move, to bend this broken arc towards justice. Aleinu, it is on us. Bent knees are for showing reverence, to prostrate in peaceful protest, to prepare us for moving, to prepare us for marching. Bent knees are not for killing. God did not make knees or any other part of us for that. Aleinu, it is on us.
Those who sow in tears, will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears, will reap
We're in the midst of Shavuos. During the time of Shavuos, we recall one of my favorite stories. It's that story where Moses and God have a conversation, and Moses says, look, we've been at this a long time. I want you to do me a favor. I want to see what you look like. I want to see your face. And God says, Moses, no one can see my face and live. From this we learn, we see God not when we are alive, but when we die. So perhaps our eyes are not closed, nor are they fully open. Perhaps death, or the promise of death, encourages us to peek just a little, to have a furtive look at the forbidden, to use our imagination of what we might see, but are not quite ready. Our imagination can take us many places, some very bright and some very dark, but our imagination is shaped by our memories. They provide the color palette that we will paint the portrait of our lives. Our fathers taught us the blueness of the sky. Our mothers taught us the yellow of the shining sun. Our true love taught us the many colors of a setting sun. But death has taught us that rainbows do exist. But first we must make our way through the rainy day, the storm, the clouds. Only then may we see the multifaceted hues of life itself. And when we reach this point, we can see all the colors of the divine, and not just one or none. We are ready to live life again. Should I read the names?
Yeah, I'm asking them. In case you're not seeing this on a delay, I'm asking you by typing in. We need your names at this time for Kaddish and for Yortzeit.
And so we recall those who have died in recent days: Abraham Margolis, Jeff Height, Rory Pink, and Dee Klein. Yortzeits that we recall are Shirley Benson, Al Birnbaum, Samuel Richard Bosick, Madeline Buss, Bessie Chaikin, Sheldon Klubeck, Faye Collins, Shirley Cooper, Dora Crystal, Jack Davidson, Robert Deacon, Milton Freed, Raymond Gittleman, Solomon Goldberg, Sarah Gross, Victor Harbour, Louis Height, Ritsuko Higo, Annie Holden, Sally Jakubowicz, Marion Keller, Emma Kestenbaum, Kate Lutz, Jack Margone, Irene Miller, Ruth Miller, Lenny Perry, Louis Pomerantz, Mildred Pomerantz, Esther Reutman, Helen Rosenfeld, Morris S. Rosenthal, Mickey Rufberg, Estelle Rousseau, Ellen Schwartz, Ben Shaffrin, Etta Sheld, Rose Sherman, Jack Torchson, Maurice Schultzau, Rosalind Silverman, Aviva Sternova, Mildred Ward, Bertie Weifeld, Jesse Wheel, Thelma Weissman, Louis Garr, and Clarence Jacobson.
We also think of Susie Skinner Martin, Jay Kashif, Mona Cerno, Jeff Carter, Robert Golovner, the 410 Nevadans lost to the virus, Shayna Rosenberg,
If you're able to rise, we join together in Kaddish 598. Yit Kadal v'Yit Kadash Shmei Rabbah v'Yalma Divrach Yerutei v'Yamlich Malchutei Chayechon v'Yomechon v'Chayedachol Beit Yisrael Bagalav Izman Kari v'Imru Amen Yesh Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Omeil Maya Yit Barach v'Yishtabach v'Yit Pa'ar v'Yit Ramam v'Yit Naseh v'Yit Hadar v'Yit Halal v'Yit Halal Shmei Dekusha Brichu Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, dam yiram b'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamai v'chayim, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Ose Shalom Bimramav, Huya Ase Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'Maru. Amen.
Those who sow in tears will reap in joy.
All right, my glove fell on the floor. So apologies, I don't know what is happening with our internet tonight. I can also see on my iPad that it is glitchy. Makes no sense because we're plugged directly into the Ethernet. However, it's been a little fuzzy. I'm trying to be your camera person and your technology person, and there's some technical difficulties.
It's the mystery of the universe.
It is the mystery of the universe. So thank you for staying with us. So many of you did, and thank you for bearing with all the glitches. But hopefully we'll have it figured out for next week.
But you know what will make all things better is a kiddush and a special motzi.
It's true. So this makes it very sweet, and especially sweet tonight. So you'll see the challah in just a second. We'll say the kiddush first, and then we will say the motzi and thank our challah sponsor for the week.
Okay, here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen. Amen. So this challah was made by our friend Lori Boren, who made us a
Nutella challah.
It's like Nutella almond. This is really good, and it's like the giantest challah. And I think your recipe was supposed to make 2 chalot, but it made one giant one, or maybe 3.
4.
It's very good. I'm sure it's delicious.
Now listen, everyone knows I like chocolate, and they're trying to butter me up. Okay, so I think this is like filled with Nutella. Don't tell Joni, please. But it will find a place.
It's not even going to make it home to Joni.
Yeah, no, it won't.
So we're excited to try this, and this is in honor. Every time that somebody sponsors a challah, I've been asking if it's in honor of something, and I think this might be in honor of a Beit Din that's coming up. So.
All right, I thought you said every time someone makes a challah, an angel gets its wings, but no, that's a different movie. All right, all right. So listen, are there other sponsorships out there?
There are. So we're all signed up through, I think, the beginning of July. So I have a spreadsheet. If you are interested in signing up, I put it on our CNT Facebook page today so that you can click on our Google spreadsheet and sign up where you would like. You can add dates to it if you would like, if there's a special date that you're looking for. The more creative, the better. And we're looking
and you make the challah, and then about 6:45 p.m. you bring it by, and it lands right here, and we're just so appreciative.
And we give you a shout out.
Yeah, we give you a shout out.
And we want to thank our musicians tonight. You can't see them on camera, but we have John Henderson and Brad Torchin.
Thank you guys very much.
And they are amazing as always. And we want to thank Lee for getting us all set up.
Thank you very much. Much.
I feel like we're forgetting something, but we'll put it on Facebook.
All right.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
All right. Hey, you're forgetting to tell them, don't forget tomorrow morning is Torah study at 8:45 a.m. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
What's wrong with you? You're teaching at 11:30 at night, 8:45 in the morning.
I just don't.
You know
I don't sleep. I don't sleep. Okay.
Everybody's sleeping until 10 these days.
All right.
Stay cool out there. Drink lots of water.
Maybe they'll open the swimming pool soon. That'd be nice.
So nice.
All right. Our final song is a favorite version of mine of Osei Shalom.
I wish my Sheer Heart friends were here to do this with me, so I want to see you doing it at home.
Shalom. Shabbat.